In this video I will show you how to draw the sunset landscape in Procreate easily. Before we begin, you can download the brushes and colors we will use by the link below. If you like my YouTube videos, you can access even more tutorials at my Patreon, where I share in-depth tutorials and Patreon-only brush sets. You can check it out via the link in the video description below. Now let's grab our pencils and get started. I've gone ahead and created a canvas with the dimensions of 2000 by 2500 pixels. Procreate has many cool features and tools that help create amazing art even if you're a complete beginner. I'll be using a few of them in this tutorial. And the first one is perspective. Let's find it in the Actions, under Canvas tab. Activate Drawing Guide. And after that we can switch to perspective. To use one-point perspective, we simply need to add a vanishing point. And it doesn't have to be inside the canvas. Let's try to tap here on the side. And we can also move it however we want. So I will just drag it more to the left. Let's enable assisted drawing and click Done. Now from the color palette I will select ground color number 2, and from brushes I will go to calligraphy to pick monoline. The size doesn't matter here. We just need to draw a line with the free hand without using quick shape tool. This way it will be snapped to the perspective grid. Now I will just drag the color under the line to fill this area. It will be the road. After that I will create one more layer and place it under the previous one. Here I also want to use Drawing Assist, so let's activate it in the layer menu. I will change the color to another one, which is ground 1. It is slightly lighter. And I will draw another line under the horizon. Let's also fill this area. And now we can totally change the background color. So we need to tap here and select background color number 1. I think for now I will remove the drawing guide, because we will start working on the sky, and we will draw a huge cloud consisting of a few layers. So I'm going to use these 7 colors, starting with cloud 1. We need to create a new layer and place it right above the background color. I will continue using monoline brush and outline a random shape above the horizon, going from left to right. We can make it curvy like this and go up. After that I will drag the color below the line. The first layer is ready. We can go ahead and create one more. Let's place it below the previous one. Also change the color to cloud 2. And draw the next shape. Actually I will draw 2 more shapes on the sides. On the right side first. We can make it even more curvy. Connect it like this, and I will fill it right away. After that I will draw another shape on the left, starting from the edge of the canvas and going to the right with other curves. We just need to connect it with the lower edge of the canvas, and after that drag the color here as well. Next layer to be created. And we also need to place it below. Switch to the third color and continue adding more complicated shapes. Let me start from the right edge. And I will make these curves. Another one here. You can simply draw them however you wish. Maybe I will add another on the edge. And after that fill it. As you can see, the colors look very similar to each other. So the more colors you use, the cooler your cloud will look in the end. That's why I have so many colors. Anyway, let's create one more layer. Place it below this one. and select color number 4. I will just draw another curvy shape above this one, and it may go from any side. So I will start from the left one. Go into the right side like this, making it very curvy. It may go a little down, and then up again. I will just make it match with the right side of the canvas, and then fill the shape. Let me continue, make one more layer, and place it below. Here comes the next color, which is number 5. I think here we may go in a slightly different way, and in addition to a big solid shape, and a few smaller ones. For example, I will draw a small curvy shape here, then another one above it, maybe one more, this will be also the part of a cloud. Here on top I will draw a bigger shape, but I will also make it curvy. And after that I will draw a bigger shape. Let me start from the edge of the canvas and go to the side like this. It will consist of many smaller curves. It may intersect with previous shapes, going more to the right, and I will finish it on the left like this. Let me start dragging the color in the biggest shape, and after that I will click here to continue with recolor. We just need to tap inside the small shapes. After that I will create another layer and grab color number 6, so it's not much left, only 6th and 7th layer. Another small tip is that while we are going upper and upper, the curves are getting smaller and smaller. As you see, we started with bigger curves and made them more detailed on the new layers. So now I will add another one on the left side and make it curvy as well. I will just close it and fill right away. Now I will start from the right side and outline another curvy shape. It may intersect with the smaller shapes that we created before. So I will go up here and to the left. Making more curves, intersecting, they may also go up a little, and we need to connect it with the edge, so later we will be able to fill it. But before doing it, we can remove a few small shapes from a big one. Same as we did when we were drawing the tree in the light box. If you remember that tutorial. If you haven't watched it yet, you can always find it on my channel. Okay, now let's try to fill the shape. And it'll look like this. Finally, I'll create one last layer. Drag it down and select the last color, which is Cloud 7. This layer will be more simple. So I will just draw under the shape, and the edge will work as the edge for the cloud. From here I will add a few more curves, then go up here and finish it like this. Let's just fill it And the cloud shape is almost ready. I will now go to the layers and merge all the layers for the cloud. After that I will go to Adjustments and from the list select Liquify. In the menu we need to switch to crystals. Remove momentum and distortion can be set to max. I will set pressure to around 50% and the size around 55%. I will just start going along the edges of the colors. Like this. And we will see the small spikes. I will just make sure I apply it to all layers, including the outer edge. We can try to push it, like this, so it goes to different directions. Or simply tap and hold. The effect will be similar. Let's just blend it a little more. And now the cloud is totally ready. Let's deselect it and work more on the background. So I'm going to create a layer below the cloud and select background color number 2. Go into selection and I will switch to rectangle. Outline a rectangular shape like this. Now let's deselect it and apply Gaussian blur. I will just slide to the right to around 40%. And these two colors will be blended. Now we can create one more layer above this one. Set it to soft light mode. And pick white color from the disk. From the set I will pick fine sandy texture. You can set the size to around 26% and just make a few strokes on the sky. Then I will also lower the opacity a little. 70% is fine. Also I would like to apply the texture on the clouds. So I'm going to create a layer above it and also set it to soft light. I will continue using white color and go to Vintage Set from Procreate. From here I will pick a brush that is called Honey Eater. I use it quite often to get a halftone texture. So the size can be set to around 31% and I will make strokes on the clouds, including the background. We can also set eraser to the same brush and tap on some parts where you see the texture is too intense. And this is the result we will get. Once it is ready, we can start drawing the main object of the composition. It will be power line. For that I'm going to create a layer between these two. Now let's go to the color palette and select ground color number 2, which we will use as the base color. Also I will select flat brush from painting set. The size can be set to around 4%, I think. And I will just start drawing vertically. With low pressure first. Just determining the shape and its dimensions. Now I will start pressing more. And I think we can make it slightly wider while going down. I'm not making perfect edges on purpose, so we keep painterly style. Let me finish it here at the bottom. I will just try to keep opaque color in the center. Okay, let me make a couple more strokes here on top, and now we can shade it. For that I'm going to create a new layer above this one. and clip it. First I will select a color that is called Power Line 1. And from the same painting set, I will select Stucco brush. Here the size is set to 5%. And I will start making strokes on the left side of the shape. Also going down. I will paint approximately half of the shape vertically. And keep the right edge dark. Let me just make a few more strokes. And at the bottom I will erase it using the same brush that we can now pick from recent brushes. I think we can switch to Power Line 2 in the colors. Make the size a little smaller. And highlight the left side even more. This time drawing closer to the edge. Let me make more strokes going down. Adding this highlight and blending the textures together. I will keep the shape at the bottom dark. And it'll look like this. Now I will create a layer above this one. And I'm not clipping it. I will switch back to this dark color. And also go back to flat brush. But I will make the size even smaller, around 3%. I will start drawing the lines that will be almost parallel to the horizon, but still go with a little angle. Let me now press more and make them darker, but I will also keep the edges not smooth. On the right side, these shapes may go slightly wider. The last one. And now I will make the size even smaller, somewhere between 1 and 2%. Draw a line like this first. Then another one. Let's make it parallel. And the last one here. Now let's go and create one more layer that will be located under the base shape. With the same dark color I will draw a small shape here on top. Maybe we can add a few on the sides. And I will draw them horizontally like this. Let's go down and draw the last two shapes. Now we can switch to a lighter shade of brown and draw two more lines. They will go like this. Maybe one last detail. Let me select this color, which is called wires, and I will add a highlight here, on the left side of each small shape. Now that it is totally ready, I'll go ahead and merge all layers for it, to keep it all in one layer. And before we copy it, let's create another layer and get it assisted. We can use absolutely any color, maybe this dark one, and I will pick monoline. Let's draw a line that will go through this tip. And we will use it as a prompt. So let me lower its opacity. And after that I will duplicate the layer with power line. I will scale it uniformly and drag it to the left side. We need to scale it even more and match it with this line on top to keep the perspective. Make sure it is matching at the bottom as well, so it works correctly. Now we can duplicate the initial shape once again. I will make it even smaller and drag it to the left. We also need to consider that the distance between every further object and the previous one will look smaller due to perspective. So let me scale it. I will match it at the bottom and also on top. And the distance between these two power lines will be smaller than between these two. So let me place it here. And after that we need to connect all the power lines with wires. For that I'll go ahead and create a layer under all power lines. Let's use the same dark color and grab ink or brush from inking set. The size of the brush can be set around 6 or 8%, and I will first connect them on top, drawing arcs like this. Let's draw another one, and also one going to the left. The thickness will depend on the pressure, so I will try not to press a lot. Now we need to connect them also on the sides. So I will be working on the dark areas, drawing an arc this way, then another one, and going to the right. Let's also not forget to draw it to the left. Then I will do the same with the next two shapes. Let me draw another arc, and one more to the left. Now I will connect these two, then two more, draw to the right and to the left. After that I will create a layer above power lines and select wires color. This time I will be connecting these small shapes that have highlights. Also drawing arcs. Let's draw one going here and one more to the left. Then I will do the same with the remaining two shapes. Simply connecting them with arcs. And finishing the last. It may look confusing, but actually it is easy. Alright, this is also done. We can now remove this line, since we don't need it, and I think we can add birds on the wires. For that I'll create a layer above this one, go back to the dark color, and select a stem from the set. It will be sitting birds. Let's set the size to 15% and tap on the canvas. Now I will match one of the birds with the wire. We can use distortion here and also warp. I will just place the birds on the wire, so it looks natural. Let me move it a little. and I think it is fine. Let's deselect it and create one more layer for the flying birds. So I'm switching to the other stamp. Let's set the size to around 24% and also tap somewhere on the sky. I think I will make it even smaller. And move a little. I think we can add highlights to these birds. So I'll create a layer above, clip it, and select the color that we used on power line. Let it be this orange. As the shading brush, I'm going to use one from vintage set. It is called Wedge Tail. I never used it before in my tutorials, so it's time to try it out. We can set the size to around 3% and just draw carefully on one side of the birds to highlight it. If we tap, it'll get even lighter. We can merge these two layers for sure. And now work on the lower part of the drawing. So first I will go to the layer with the road and create another layer under this one. We can pick the color right from here and use the same brush. I will just set the size to around 7 or 8% and start making circular strokes here along the edge. And while going to the right side, I will make the shapes bigger, all due to the perspective. We can also try to tap to make color dynamics work. So the color may get lighter or darker. Then I will make a few more strokes like this. After that I will pick ground color number 1. Go to the other layer and create a layer under it. Maybe I will lower the size a little and also go along the edge same way, increasing the size while going to the right. We can also try to tap here, just to blend the colors, and remove the straight edge. After that I will create another layer below and grab trees color number 1. Let's continue using the same brush, maybe set the size back to 8% and start making more strokes that will go upper. I will also make them bigger here, maybe even bigger, and they will work as trees. So I will keep the perspective here. Then I will be tapping to get different color variations. Let me move it a little down. And after that I will change the color to trees too. Make the size smaller and add another layer of trees. This time they will go lower. But still change the size here close to the right edge. Now it is almost ready. I think we can draw this road mark. So we need to go to the layer with the road and create another one above it. Let's select this dark pink color for road markup and also ink a brush from inking set. I think we can also activate drawing assist to follow the perspective. So I will increase the size a little, maybe set it to 10%, and just draw a line like this along the road, very close to its edge. Then I'll create a layer above it and clip. I just want to add a little shading to it, so I will select the color on the right and use soft brush from airbrushing. I will just add this color on the right side, like this. Also, I would like to add some imperfections to the line, because it looks too perfect. For that I will go back to the layer, remove assisted drawing, and add a layer mask. Then I will grab black color from the disk, together with the swage tail brush that we found in vintage set. I will just lower the size and make a few strokes on the line. We can do it by tapping and on different sides, just to make it imperfect. Alright, in the end I'd like to apply a texture, and for that I'll create a layer above all layers. Let's select white color and this recycled paper brush, which comes with my paper set. You can check it out along with other brush sets and exclusive Patreon tutorials via the link below. And if you want to support my YouTube channel, please hit the subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. Anyway, let's increase the brush size and paint all over the canvas. After that I will change the layers mode to soft light, and we can lower the opacity a little. I'll set it to 80%. We will still see the texture. I think we can add one more detail, for example some buildings on the background. So let me select dark color, which is ground 2, and create a layer here, above the texture for the clouds. I'll be using selection, which is set to rectangle, and I will also enable color fill right away. Just outline a few rectangular shapes like this. They may go even upper, then more to the side, and I will draw the last one. Let's deselect it, and after that go to change the layers blending mode. I'll set it to difference, so it looks like very far away. The drawing is almost ready. I just want to fix the colors in the end, to make it look more highlighted like the sunset. So instead of merging all layers, we can actually swipe 3 fingers down, click copy all, then swipe again and click paste. It works exactly same as copy canvas feature. And after that we can adjust the colors. I want to use color balance, so let's find it in the adjustments. And I will slide the cyan to the left. Also add magenta and yellow color. And I think now I like the result. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and hit that bell icon for notifications. You can also unlock more tutorials and brush sets on my Patreon. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.